Can Nigeria overcome the many challenges facing it today? Some of the issues facing the country include low crude oil prices, declining foreign reserves with attendant problems, rising unemployment, serious post-electoral issues, the fight back of corruption, declining revenues for government expenditures, insecurity in high rates of robbery and kidnapping, and a dramatic return of the Biafra issue. To discuss all this, we have Ambassador Joe Keshi, a corporate executive and seasoned former diplomat. Please join me in our discussion with Ambassador Keshi. All right, Ambassador, thank you for being in our studios again. We're happy to see you. I don't even know where to start here because there are many issues that are trending out there on Nigeria. Like I said, I don't know. We're going to get to a bunch of them. But to you, which one is the real top issue out there today trending that's facing Nigeria?
Well, I think that today the major issue is trying to resolve the budget crisis. Obviously, because of the impact the budget could have on this country's, on Nigeria's development. The current regime came on board with the whole concept of changing this country. Mm. And so far, we've not seen a clear-cut direction of what they want to change. So the budget provides them the opportunity to begin to drive that change. Unfortunately, they've run into this crisis, which I believe probably at the end of the day was an honest mistake due to a number of reasons, the issue of time, and the fact that, we get enamored, or we fall in love with slogans in this country. And then we buy into it, and then we run with it. Nobody says, take a breath. What are you talking about? Everybody comes up overnight with a zero-sum budget. Patutomi was the first to say, when the budget came out, that you cannot prepare a budget, a zero-sum budget, in 2 months. Mm. Nobody listened. Soludo came out to say, listen, this budget is not too far from Jonathan's budget. It's like cut and paste. And ostensibly, I believe that, having been in government and having known the the budgetary process, and you do know this too. I thought at that point in time, they should have taken a look at all the complaints, more because the budget gives them the opportunity to begin to drive change, particularly when they talk about trying to diversify the economy. Yeah. Particularly because with the oil prices down, we just have to find something else to begin to that will give us that will increase, number one, foreign exchange, that will bring in the money that we use. So we can blame the governor of the central bank as much as we like for poor monetary policy and so on. The truth remains, the guy can't print dollars. Yeah. We can only make dollars if we sell. Sure. I don't know right now, we are not selling much.
The budget issue. Because you're right. I think that's probably the top thing that is trending out there. Everybody's talking about the budget. It is botched. Some people say it's padded. How it's just cut and paste, as you've said, and how it is not a zero-sum, a zero-based budget. How it's not a zero-based budget. So obviously there is a problem with the budget, and I agree. Because even the party, the APC, has admitted to that. In fact, the government has admitted to that. In fact, that there are some issues. So what should they do now? Should the budget office say, okay, we need more time let's reconstruct this budget. Let's
redefine
it. Let's say it is zero base or it is not zero base.
No.
Give us another month or two.
Let's forget the slogan of zero base.
Yeah.
The trend has been, heads must roll. Civil servants padded the budget. Look, no civil servant, in my view, would pad the budget after the president has presented the budget to the National Assembly. Beyond that, let's go through the budgetary process. I don't know what they did, but in our days, the Treasury, the Minister of Finance, maybe this time, maybe the Minister of National Planning, issues a circular and says this budget, next year's budget, 2017 budget, for example, will increase by 10, 20, or 25%. Almost automatically, the accountants, who are the ones who do this in the ministries and the MDAs, they sit down every line item in the budget, every line item. It doesn't make a difference. If you've completed the job you want to do 2-3 years ago, as long as that line item is still in the budget, automatically it's increased by 20%. What they should have done in the first instance is to say, look, we're going to do a zero-sum budget beginning from 2017. This year, we're going to try and begin the reform process of reforming the budget. And so you go through the budget and remove all the items that you don't want to find in the budget. That's number one.
Yeah.
And they didn't do that. Number two, the budget, once it's finished at the ministry end, goes to the director of budget, who begins to work out the fine details, who gets what, and what we can give to each ministry. From there, it goes to the Federal Executive Council headed by the President. The President is the chairman of the Federal Executive Council. They agree on what the budget should be. They go through the budget, for goodness sake. And then this, before it's presented to the National Assembly, the buck must end on the table of the President and members of his cabinet. If they didn't do a good job, it's embarrassing to find...
I have to be sure that they did.
Yes, it's embarrassing to find a minister.
It's not possible that they didn't do that.
Yeah, it's embarrassing to find a minister go to the National Assembly and say, no, I didn't know about this, I'm withdrawing it. Yeah. And then you blame the civil servant. No. My advice is very simple. Withdraw the budget, take another 1 month, look at it critically. Yeah. And then we send it back to the National Assembly. And for goodness sake, no head.
I think that they should do that. And as you know, you're alluding to like situation in the United States, they have a very long period of time to work with before the budget gets implemented. They have, as you know, their fiscal year starting October 1 to September 30th the next year, and the president has to submit the budget between the first Monday of January and the first Monday of February. Sometimes they do it the first week of February. And from that time, they have like 8 months to get the thing ready. In this case, our guys, as you said,
under 2 months.
At 2 months. So it's not a problem
within that
to
same,
take it back.
within that same period, within that same period of 2 months, permanent secretaries were retired. A number of changes took over, in the system. New permanent secretaries came on board. Some of them apparently without enough experience to be able to manage the project. Now new ministers came on board. So I say it's an honest mistake. It's been made. Withdraw the budget, go through it again,
clean it up,
get the guy at the DG budget to take a second look at the totality. But the most important thing is that somebody, either the Minister of Finance or the Minister of Budget Planning, must first of all indicate where the government must go so that everybody keys into the...
$38 a barrel is the reference price, unless they've changed it, and I didn't know.
Today, it's the oil selling for 27.
Yeah. So is that still realistic?
Absolutely not.
So how does that? So the budget when we take it back, we need to correct that in your mind.
No, absolutely. Yeah. Look, this is actually something they should have done and hinted the National Assembly. We are working on. Listen, you remember when the oil price started tumbling down? It was under the Jonathan administration. rightly or wrongly, say whatever you like, Ngozi was assuring us that, listen, we're preparing 2, 3, 4 scenarios. If the price comes to this level, this is what we're going to do. If it goes to this level, this is what we're trying to do. If it goes to that level, this is what we're trying to do. I don't see why we shouldn't do that today again. Let's prepare a number of scenarios to say, look, if the oil goes down to 27, this is the adjustments we'll make. If it goes down to, I would actually say that, look, why don't you go down and basically just use 20 to start with? Any other thing you get out of that is savings.
APC and PDP. This is the first time that we have a sort of strong opposition party in the PDP, the formerly ruling party, now as an opposition party. Are they working together, in your opinion? What you see, do they look like these parties are working together for the interests of the country?
Well, I don't know about the interests of the country. At the National Assembly, they appear to be working together, but I'm not too sure whether it's in the interest of the country. It would take them time to really find a common ground, obviously, for so many reasons. And if you read an article by Chude Amuta, he actually drew this out about the APC not fulfilling its change mantra and not having a clearly defined roadmap, and the PDP itself not used to its new role as an opposition party. And of course, the PDP is still in crisis, which I believe and I hope that they can resolve sooner than later and become a very strong opposition. We need a strong, credible opposition in this country.
The PDP in the National Assembly, when I hear people talk, I'm not so sure, as you probably were trying to allude to, I'm not so sure that they've defined for themselves what their objectives are, like the things that they stand for.
The PDP?
Yes.
No.
So
no party.
So I don't know.
No party. Let's be honest with ourselves.
What they actually stand for.
No party stands for anything.
But what the APC stands for is change.
What change?
The change from how it used to be.
Listen.
So what does the PDP stand for? I mean, that's what they have said. I'm just quoting what they said.
You are a Christian.
Yes.
And you have the Bible to guide you.
Yes.
Muslims have the Quran to guide them.
Yes.
Okay? If you go and look at the Republican Party or the Conservative Party, you will see clearly defined objectives of what they stand for. It is not enough to sloganize and say we stand for change. What kind of change do you stand for? What do you want to change? So the point I'm trying to make is that for the change that we want to see, it must be clearly defined. We must have a roadmap as to the destination, that this is what we want to do.